So let me ask you there, Buzzbait, what you about to pull out of the box?
I tell you what we got, Crab Claw. We got us some largemouth bass that come out of Lay Lake. That is just southeast of Birmingham.
That's in Sylacauga, Alabama, right?
That is in Sylacauga, Alabama.
And then that lake is on the, I guess Birmingham's on the north side, and Sylacauga's on the south side of Lay Lake. Is that correct?
Well, yes, sir. That's right. Well, actually, Birmingham is on the west side, and Sylacauga is on the east side.
I got you, Captain. I got my north and south mixed up a little bit there.
And what we have here, we went up there for a couple of days with Mr. Bobby Humphrey. Had us a good time up there, and we caught us a few of these largemouth bass.
How big is that bass right there, Captain?
That right there weighed about 4.5 pounds there, Crab Claw.
4.5. There's some big fish over there at Lay Lake, ain't it, Captain?
There sure is. We had us a ball.
So I guess Captain Rajo, better known as Captain Elmer Fudd, is going to do a little cutting demonstration over here on these bass.
Yeah, I'm going to show y'all how to clean a bass. I sure am. We're going to fillet. These are some good fish right here, people. Let me tell you, these are easy ones to clean. Easier fish to clean right here because they're a little bit bigger. They're bigger fish. Come on up here with that buzz, baby. Let's work that slime off.
You know, that fish right there goes about, he's a good 2.5 pounder. We went up there and we had a wonderful time with Bobby Humphrey. We caught several of these size fish. I tell you what, if you can notice here, the fish up in Lay Lake are a little different than the fish down here in the south part. And I tell you what we got. You see these marks right here? These marks right here, these are unique because what it is, these are mixed breed bass. You got a spotted bass and a largemouth bass. It is mixed together, and you come up with a bass such as that. It's kind of like called a hybrid bass.
So a hybrid bass is kind of like a mixed bass. But I tell you what, Lay Lake got some hybrid. They got stripers, they got spotted bass, they got green trout.
So let's let old Captain Elmer here demonstrate on how to clean one of these bad boys.
First thing, but very important, is always to squirt that fish off. That fish is going to have some slime. You want to always squirt him off to make sure that it doesn't slip when you cut it. But first and foremost, the biggest thing I can tell y'all is never ever pull a knife towards your hand. You've got to be so careful when you're cutting fish or cutting anything for that matter. I'm going to start right here. I'm going to stick this blade right in his gut.
So you like to start on the bottom side first, huh?
Well, not necessarily. I just did because the fish was pointing this way to me, and that is a very good point. I'm glad you asked it. I'm so used to cutting fish because it comes second nature to me. I've been cutting thousands of these things my life. But you're right. I can either start it here, and then I'll show y'all on this one how I can start on the other side. There's several different ways to cut a fish. So let's see, let's come in this way. And all I'm gonna do is stick that blade through and run it straight down. And I'm gonna lay him open like that. And I'm gonna take the point of that knife and I'm gonna run it right up the side, just like that. Let the knife do the work. Let the knife do all the work, she'll do it. Then you take that point, come around, keep your hand away from it.
Do you think we ought to sharpen our knife up with one of them AccuSharpeners sharpeners over there on the side?
You know what?
Wouldn't that be a good idea? What do you think?
Oh my God.
Bust it out, Buzz. Make show them what the AccuSharpeners
Sharpeners. Tell y'all about this old AccuSharp knife and tool sharpener. This is something, that is very neat to have. It works very well. It's get out of the Stone Age. not using stones very much. I mean, they still do, but this is the new technology with sharpening a knife. And you know, you just simply, it's got a handle on it. It's got a little handle on it. You know, you can hold it like this. But what you want to do, you always want to pull your knife away from the sharpener where you don't cut yourself. There you go. You know, it's just a simple hold and pull. And let me tell y'all, it don't take about 3 or 4 of these pulls, and that baby sharp, she'll show enough skin some hair. Y'all see that?
You know, that's the old tip. You know, if you can cut some hair on your arm, well, then you got your show enough sharp knife. You know what I'm saying, Captain?
Okay, Captain Rajo. Check her out.
Does it feel any sharpener?
Oh my gosh. All I can tell you is, I don't know if y'all got a chance to watch me when I tried to cut, and I'll show y'all where I gapped it up right here. I gapped that fish up because that knife was dull. That knife was dull, and this is what happened. I couldn't get through that bone over that rib cage. And with this though, watch this. This one here, let me show you the difference. You see how smooth that is? You see that gap there? That's a dull knife, that's a sharp knife. Makes a world of difference.
And the Acu sharpener is the right sharpener slash knife and tool sharpener that a man can have.
Oh, you know that's right, buddy. You know it's kind of inexpensive. You know, you're not going to pay an arm and a leg for something like this.
It probably cost you a $10 bill.
That's about right, but you know, that's not a, you know.
That's a good investment.
Not too bad.
That's a good investment.
Very good investment. They last a long time. You can sharpen many, many knives with this. So I tell you what we're gonna do. Since Rajo here has got the sharp knife, I'm just gonna reach over here, grab this knife, squirt her off a little bit, get her cleaned up, and we're gonna sharpen this one also.
So we're gonna go back to Captain Elmer Fudd.
Yeah.
So you gonna do the same technique that you did?
No, I'm not gonna do the same technique. I'm gonna do the technique we talked about. I started from the bottom on the inside on that last fish.
That's right.
All right, now on this time, I'm gonna start up top. Instead of running my knife up this way, I'm gonna run my knife this way. So I'm gonna come in, and the way I start is I take the point, tip of the knife, cut that scale back.
Always point outward.
Oh yeah, and just flick that scale back, and that's gonna get you in there. And then just run that knife straight down that fin, just like that. And then come through there and cut her back. Then, and this has got a lot to do with feel. You feel that blade ride that backbone. The bones are gonna run this way, and I'm gonna ride that backbone all the way up until I get to that point.
But you know, it's real careful. It's a touchy little cut because you don't want to go on the bottom side, do you, there, Captain?
No, you do not.
There's two sides.
You don't want to go on that bottom side. He's right.
There's two sides of a fish. You got one backbone. I guess you got the east or west or the north and south. But you want to be just riding that.
I'm just riding. And now I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm gonna go down from the top though this time. I'm gonna cut him back.
And you like to scrape them scales off too, though, to get you a nice little.
I do. That way I can get the point of that knife in there without having to muscle it and tear it up.
Because really, you want that knife to work for you, don't you? I mean.
Oh my gosh, there's no doubt about it. The blade does all the work. All you're doing is guiding it. It's doing all the work.
All you're doing is guiding it. You know, you're not trying to force it through there, because when you start forcing, that's when you might have a little, you might get stuck, huh, Captain?
Oh my goodness, yes sir. Just riding that bone, that rib cage.
How big you think that bass is there, Captain Elmer?
This one here, I'm gonna call him 1.5 pounds.
1.5 pounds? I mean, 1.5 pounds is a good eater fish, ain't it?
Oh my gosh, you better believe it. This is some of the finest eating you'll ever see in your life right here, buddy.
I mean, what size fish do you think is, I mean, as far as bass, you think the bigger fish or you think the smaller fish are good eater fish?
Well, I think right there in between. Not the small ones, not the big ones. If the big ones get kind of thick, the meat gets thick, and you got to kind of cut it thin to make it cook right. That's what you got to do on that. So I like that one right there dead in the middle. But now they all eat good. Don't get me wrong, they all eat just fine. But I prefer those ones.
You prefer a good medium size fish?
Yeah, like this one right there. About 1.5 pound, 2 pound fish.
It makes for a good fillet, doesn't it, Captain?
Don't always make good fillet, but see, the skin's just gonna be crispy. And old Captain Elmer Fudd loves his fish crispy. That's a fact, Jack.
You know what? I think everybody likes their fish crispy there, Captain. What do you think?
And I tell you what, the way old Captain Elmer there, you know, filleted that fish, then all you got to do, you know, there is 2 steps to this deal. You know, it's got the skin still left on it. You're not doing any scaling. This is going to be skinless, boneless fillet bass.
Mignon.
There you go. So you can just simply, you know, you take your sharp knife, which I just sharpened it. You take that thing and you just run it right down its skin.
But you gotta be careful to where you don't want to cut through the skin. You just want to kind of ride it.
That's right. You just ride right along that skin there, and you let the knife do the work, just like, you know, Captain Elmer said, and there you have it. That is skinless, boneless, Billy Big Mouth bass meat right there.
Whoo,
and let me tell you, buddy, this thing fries up like there is no tomorrow.
Yeah, I tell you what, fried bass is one of my favorite fish, indeed. And of course, you can grill it, saute it, marinate it.
I even like bass almondine.
Bass almondine. What's bass almondine?
Dude, you put them almonds on that thing and you bake it up real good, and it's just like, you know, it's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. My grandmother used to do it. And let me tell you, it was some kind of good. You know, there might be a little, you know, a
little pin bone right there.
Pin bone right there. You can just simply, if you feel that, you know, you just simply just reach in there and you just cut that bad boy out. And then she is showing up boneless, skinless fillet.
Boys, you know you got it when you read a newspaper through the backbone. That's when you know you skin her up.
Well, let me see the other side. You know, show them both sides. You know what? That right there is a thing of beauty, no doubt.
Well, let me just show you. Let me show you something. See how thin that is? Look at that 2 piece chunks of meat that come off of that. Newspaper material.
Yeah, that is newspaper material. And that's also getting your money's worth off that bass. You know what I'm saying, Captain?
I'll tell you what, my man. You do an outstanding job, friend. You know? Well, totally awesome to have old Captain Elmer here fillet these fish up like this, because now, as you can see, this is boneless, skinless fillets that is ready for the frying pan.
Here comes that big bad boy. I want to know who caught the big one. I want to know. We saved him to last, but I want to know who caught the big one.
Well, Crab Claw.
Yeah, go on and give us the story there, Buzz,
I'm going to go ahead and give you the story on this one here, Elmer. And you know, this is saw it with my own eyes.
Oh, see, then you got to believe it.
You got to believe this one, y'all. This big old bad boy right here was caught by our guide that we hooked up with, that had his own little spots, his unique spots there in Lay Lake. And this is the kind of fish that boy catches, you know,
quite frequently, you know.
Regular.
And then Lay Lake, the Bass Masters Classic was up at Lay Lake, I guess, what, in 04 and 010, is that correct?
No, it was 07
That's right.
and 010. And, you know, as we was up there, I took the Crab Claw in the hump, and we went right to the same spot that Kevin Van Dam fished for 3 days and won the 2007 Bass Masters Classic.
Man, we were right there. I mean, it was just unbelievable to go to Lay Lake and catch some of these fish that Kevin Van Dam caught up there to win the Bass Masters Classic.
Oh, that's right.
Buzzbait, won't you show us how you cut a fish? Because everybody cuts a fish different.
All right.
Won't you show us, give us the pleasure of cutting that big bad boy right there.
Well,
that's a beautiful fish.
You know, Buzzbait has caught many a fish in his day. So,
to say it lightly.
that's right. So, let me go ahead and show y'all how the Buzzbait cleans his fish.
Come on down
To the seafood shop,
where the seafood's fresh
and the gumbo's hot.
at the seafood shop. Where you pick 'em,
And we steam 'em.
hot on the spot. Bridge on the recipe
Spicy and hot.
at the seafood shop. At the seafood shop. Come on down
To the seafood shop,
where the seafood's fresh
and the gumbo's hot.
where you pick 'em,
And we steam 'em.
hot on the spot. So y'all come see us at the seafood shop.
Where the seafood's fresh.
And the gumbo's hot.
You pick it.
We steam it.
Hot on the spot.
Either original
Or spicy hot.
at the seafood shop.
That's right, the seafood shop.
230-43 Perdido Beach Boulevard, Orange Beach, Alabama,
We hope to see y'all soon.
where we appreciate your business.
You know, it's a little different than the commercial fisherman. I'm a recreational fisherman. So, you know, I try to get in there, get her done, get out, and be gone. So, what I like to do, it's a pretty nice sized fish, but I think my knife's good and sharp since I sharpen it with the old sharpener tool there. I like to cut that out right there. His little,
His throat.
well, I take that out, and then what I do is I simply run this thing down there by his head, get down to the backbone, turn him over, run that knife down his backbone.
Be careful, Buzzbait.
Always pulling. I do pull the knife away from it, you know, because these knives are dangerous. They will cut you.
Especially after you done use that Acu sharpener.
That's right. And see, I just run it right down the backbone, all in one shot there, get right down to his tail, and I just simply flip that bad boy over like that, see? See what I'm saying? And I tell you what, we was wanting to make sure these fish wasn't spawning again, but boy, that looks like a few eggs. I really don't know, Captain.
You know, we were talking to Captain Daniel up there, our guide at Lay Lake, and he said that it was uncommon, but it was common for fish to spawn 2 times in the same year.
That's right. So, anyway, getting back to the buzzbait cleaning of the fish here, you know, I just made that one run, and then I just simply, you know, just go ahead and take my knife and run him right on out that skin there, run him down like that, and there you have it. And then what I do is that's his rib cage. You know, Captain Elmer, he cuts around the rib cage. Old Buzzbait, you know, he cuts the rib cage off. You know, he just takes his little knife, rings it around there like that, cuts him in there like that, and look at there. There's the Buzzbait slab of meat. Skinless, boneless, ready to go to the frying pan.
About ready to put a little stink in the grease.
There you go. Then, you know, you can just flip him over. Take him just like this on this other side. Take your knife, cut him down in there to the backbone, you know. Got to grab your hand right there. This is where Buzzbait's got to be careful because this knife will jab your hand. You just flip that over, find that backbone, run it down. Here he comes.
Sounds like a bunch of cracking and giggling. I mean,
watch this, boys. It's coming down that back. There you go. Now look, I just simply, like I said, flip that bad boy over. Take that thing out like that. Run him right down the skin line. And there you have it. Then, you know, I got that rib cage in there again.
I tell you what I like to do. I like to do a little comparison on, you know.
And then there you have it.
Let's compare backbones.
Let's compare backbone to backbone.
Let's see. I don't know if the camera can see this or not. This is the fish I cut. Can y'all see the finger behind the backbone? Can you see that crab claw?
I can see it there.
Oh,
Calvin.
you got it, crab claw. Okay, now, let's see.
Now, see what you have here is a recreational way to cut a fish. There's a lot of meat on that bone compared to the meat on that bone. Now, if we had Buzzbait up in the seafood shop cutting fish, come on, Buzzbait, you got to get the meat off the bone.
Let me tell y'all, you about right, but that goes back to what I'm saying. You know, I'm a recreational fisherman. You know, and I try to get her in and get her out because we are starving to death when we get off the boat. So,
hey,
anyway.
Buzzbait, you're doing a fine job.
Thank you.
You're doing a fine job.
Yeah, Buzzbait, you the best, babe.
Come on now, that isn't too bad.
I tell you what, back in the olden days, when you got a recreational guy that's cutting fish compared to a commercial guy, I tell you what you do, you chop that backbone in half and you fry backbone and all.
Yeah.
Woo!
Oh, yeah.
That's Southern style right there, baby.
Yeah.
That's that pretty old butterfly bass that old.
You know, I love to eat the fish on the bone.
Ooh-wee.
My gracious alive. That is it, my friend.
That's the last of the last.
That is it, my friend. That is it. The Buzzbait. You want to show these fine people how to properly package fillets to put up in a freezer.
Well, I
There is a
certainly
proper
can,
way,
son.
isn't it?
I think there is.
Please.
First thing you do, you rinse your hands off.
Yeah, because, you know, you want to keep your Ziploc bag nice and clean, don't you, Buzzbait?
That's right. You know, you got these pretty fillets of fish. You want to take care of these bad boys. You know, you rinse them off. Get this Ziploc bag out. We're gonna get the bagging started here. You know, you put your fillet in there. Lay that bad boy out. Woo! Old Elmer Fudd, buddy, he did a fine job on cleaning these fish.
I tell you what, it's good to have a good fish cleaner at the house. Me and Buzzbait and Bobby Humphrey was doing some fishing over at Lay Lake, and you get a good fish cleaner at the house is always good to have.
Oh, and that's what I am, the fish cleaner at the house.
Fish
No
cleaner.
doubt. Yeah, but hey, it's all good.
It's
man.
all good.
Because you know who gets the meat?
The fish cleaner.
Fish cleaner's taking these bad boys
Yeah.
off.
That's why I get all the meat.
Yeah. You know, the fish cleaner always tends to bring a little old sack or two out of the box, you know what I'm saying?
Here you go, Buzzbait.
Yes, sir. You know, nothing like some good old Billy Big Mouth, skinless, boneless fillets.
Tell you what, it's one of my favorites for sure, you know.
Now, you can take that bag, you know, and you always want to press the air out of it. Always want to press her out, get all that air pocket out of it, and you zip that bad boy up. Make sure she gets zipped in. And there's one of them bad boys' bags right there. There you go, Captain Elmer.
All right now, Captain Elmer at his finest here is going to show y'all how he packs a bag. I will do the same thing that old Buzzard there just did, except I will put me just a little bit of water, about this much water, bottom of the bag. Then I'll lay her down, and then I'll do as he was doing, I'll push it out. And what does that water pushes for sure all the air out. Air is what's gonna run the fish. You wanna try to get all the air out. That's how old Captain Elmer Fudd does it. Here you go, Buzz. Oh, I'm gonna take that with me, Buzz, mate. I'm sorry.
There you go.
Give that to you.
Well, I tell you what, Elmer. You know, you've asked me how to package them up to go to the frying pan, I reckon. You didn't specifically ask how to package them up for freezing.
Oh,
That's what you do when you want to freeze your fish. Put your little water in there, you know, like Elmer said, and then you squeeze all the air out, and then you can lay them bad boys in the freezer, you know. I was just sending that off to Elmer so he can go put it in the frying pan.
Well, it's funny how the old cutting man always gets the first sack, you know what I'm saying?
Hey there, this is the old Buzz Bait, my partner, the Crab Claw. Available today for only $12.95 plus shipping. You can own your first edition DVD Fishing Time video show. That's right, for only $12.95 plus shipping, you can own your first Fishing Time TV DVD hosted by Team RT. What you think about that, Crab Claw?
Well, I'll tell you what, also available today we have Fish Rock, original music by Crab Claw, Barracuda, and Electric Eel.
I tell you what, do you think we might be able to hit them with a special today there, old Crab Claw?
I'll tell you what, if you order today, you get both Fish Rock, original music, and Fishing Time TV DVD hosted by Team RT for only $12.95 plus shipping if you order today.
That's only $12.95, so y'all need to order today. That's $12.95 plus shipping. We hope to see y'all soon.
Order today, order tomorrow, order any day. Fishing Time, hosted by Team RT. Y'all come see us.
And the sea, they start growing.